My favorite engineer. Oh, now we're live now. Okay. Welcome to the World of Pets, hosted by our engineer, Emily, on the World of Ability podcast. Tonight we have a very special guest, and her name is Sue Patz, and I'm joined by my co host tonight, Anthony. And tonight, go ahead, Sue, and introduce yourself and tell us what you're all about.
Hi, I'm Sue Pats. Really excited to be over here. I'm a digital business strategist. That means I help people launch their digital products on fast track. And when they want to scale, they join my membership. And as a bonus, actually, I show them how they can sell their digital products all over the world using affiliates. And I'm open for collaborations, but I'm excited about this podcast, especially because I have been a grandmom for a couple of pets, and I just cannot actually, yeah, wait to talk about them. Thank you.
Very excited. Anthony, quick background.
Hi, I'm Anthony. Been on the show several times when it was Deborah and David hosting. Now I'm here to help David out and co-host as needed. And I've got the dog Cobb. She was in service training while I lived up in the Pacific Northwest. But since transitioning back down to Southern Arizona, where I live, I've had a difficult time resuming her training, but hoping to get that going in the next month or so here. And that is me.
Very good. All right, Sue. Let's do this. Why don't you um, go ahead and tell us about your involvement with the podcasting stuff and networking stuff, your interest in animals, how it all kinds of ties together.
Okay, okay. You might be shocked that personally I was not at all interested in podcast. I was bedridden, and when I recovered from my spinal injury, I just wanted to devote my life for solopreneur success because nobody understands solopreneur. Only one solopreneur understands other solopreneur, and I thought that the best way I can help them is by creating blogs. So I started blogging because I thought that will be the great source for giving me free resources for them, and my blog started getting lots of traction, and people said, we love your blogs, we don't have time to read, why don't you start podcast? And podcast was the last thing on my mind because English is my third language, and I have heavy accent, and my kids always tell me, because my kids are born here, so they have American accent. My husband studied in convent, so he has UK accent, and I'm the only one with this Indian accent. So even at my home, I was always laughed at. And then I thought, okay, people are asking for podcasts because they don't have time to read blogs. I will start, and as far as I have something to add value to their lives, I will do it. And I won't put eyes on myself, I put eyes on them. And as far as I'm helping them, it's okay with me. And I started podcast in one day. Means the night I slept, okay, I said, okay, I'll start podcast next day. And in the morning, I just woke up and I started podcast. And nowadays, I get all the actually invites that, okay, we'll help you launch your podcast in 3 months, and we'll make your podcasting website for $5,000 and all. I really don't understand. And I had consultation with one of these guys, and I showed, okay, this is what I'm doing. I showed my site. Oh, he said, you really don't need my services. You are already doing whatever we help people do. So that is how I got on into podcast. And first year I had lots of guests on my podcast. Second year it was mostly solo, but this year I have a blend. I have a mix of guests coming on my show, and solo episodes too. Now talking about the pets. Pets is another area. My husband and I, we were never ready for that because somehow I had some kind of inhibition, because I think once a dog bit my brother, and he had to take like multiple number of injections with huge syringe and all. So I would not even let any pet touch me. And once my daughter was visiting actually Southern California to her boyfriend's place, and she just sent a picture of a cat. She said, "Mummy, I'm adopting this, and he is coming our place, and he will be living with us." And we were absolutely not ready, but then we decided, okay, means basically whether our fear for pet is higher than our love for our daughter, and finally we gave in and we say, okay, we love our daughter more than our fear for pet. And then actually it totally changed my life. I was still quite hesitant to go next to my pet, but what happened, first day the pet came all the way from LA. He was with her. Actually, we thought he was a she, but later on we realized he's a he. But and second day, my daughter went out to get groceries, and the cat he was really kitten, just few weeks old. He himself came to me, and then he jumped on me and all, and it was so rewarding, and it was really amazing. It was a great experience, and after that means basically uh, I became his favorite person, and he once he came to my office, he tangled himself and all, and then suddenly I was warming up, and no, then later on the things changed like that he just wants to cuddle with me, and he doesn't want to cuddle with anyone else. And oh man, my life is totally changed, and I have no idea how this. I know I have two, but I'm just talking about the first one right now. I have no idea how this pet knows that this is a weekend. And if I come to my office, my office is at home only, but if I come to my office during weekends on Saturday or Sunday, he just comes to my office and continuously meows until I leave the office. He doesn't want me working in the office on Saturday, and I have no idea how does he know that this is weekend and I'm supposed to be not working. I wrote that article on LinkedIn that my pet taught me the work life balance, and that was one of the hot article on LinkedIn. You won't believe how many people read that, and they said this was the best article we read about the pet. So this is about my first one. Second one I'll talk later because I went on and on for long. So
Very nice. It's a great
thank you.
story. It reminds me of when my ex-wife was on the road with her brother driving a truck, and for about a year, she and came back with a tiny little dachshund puppy. And I was like, now I need one. And her her name was Daisy, and so I got a male long-haired dachshund, and we named him Duke. So I had a Daisy Duke. So and if you go back in American culture, a lot of people name their pets after animals they encountered. And one of the gals that was in there, they nicknamed the shortcut jeans Crazy Dukes. So that's how that came about. But yeah, they change your life. You know, it brings you a new routine.
Oh,
You know, my
totally,
daughter's grown, and I've done pets.
totally.
Yeah, yeah. So in general, what's your favorite topic to blog about?
I blog about mostly entrepreneurship and spirituality. So and I have written like 7 books, but I haven't published any book yet. I started writing like 20 years back because of my daughter's encouragement. And then I wrote a second article about our second cat because my daughter felt that just one cat is getting too lonely. He needs a company. So then the second cat, actually I took initiative. I told my neighbor. My neighbor has like 10 15 cats. She takes care of so many cats. So I told her I think we should go for a second one. And her friend had actually rescued one cat, and my daughter wanted a black cat because she thinks that people mistreat black cat a lot, so she wanted to really have a black cat. And a whole because The latest kitten rescued was a black one. So I told her, and the second one came to our place, and it was not easy to introduce to the first one. So we played all the games that, okay, we kept one in one room, one in other room. My house is big, like 6 bedrooms, so we could do that. But then I realized that we cannot live like this. So once my daughter went to her boyfriend's place over the weekend to LA. So I said, okay, I need to introduce to these two cats to each other, so that we will have a life. Otherwise, it was so much that, okay, they both knew that they exist, but they were, the moment they saw each other, they always fought. So then, when my daughter was gone away for weekend, what I did, let them loose, and whenever they started to fight with each other, I had a water syringe with me. So the moment they fight, I would spray water on them, and within one day, oh, they got disciplined. No, they don't fight with each other at all, because they know that Granny is sitting there with water syringe, and they didn't want to be sprayed by water. And no, they are their best friends. And now my second article wrote about our second cat when it came, because I said my second article was about why do you need a friend in your life. Because what happens, I always saw one grooming other to the areas where that cat himself cannot groom that area. So I always saw they groom each other to the areas where one cat cannot reach. And then I realized that's why you need a friend, that's why you need a mentor, because then they cover the blind spots, the spots which you cannot reach, which you cannot see, and they cover for each other. And then my second article was again hit on LinkedIn, and so why you need a friend. And then I introduced my second one is Paper, because he's a black cat, so we were thinking what to name him. So first one is Kiwi, because my daughter always wanted to have a pet with name Kiwi. So yeah, he's Kiwi, and second one is a Paper. And now my daughter is planning to move out, so she's saying, you love pets so much, you should have a puppy or you should have a cat. So she's actually, so moment she moves out, yeah, we may. So we are now open in market now, because still they are there. And her boyfriend has a one cat. His name is Shadow, and they are going to move into an apartment. An apartment uh, doesn't, mostly they don't allow three cats. So he was planning to leave this third cat back home with his family, but the family said, if you are leaving the cat over here, we are going to declaw him. And we really totally oppose that, because declawing means basically like a cutting a part of your fingers. Means how can you do that? How can you be so cruel? So my daughter is looking for apartment where she can have all three cats, and they have different rules. And because means they are so precious. And my daughter always looks at them, and she said, there people are going to invent some kind of medicine where cats are going to live forever, and they will be with me forever. And yesterday she was telling me, nobody loves me as these two boys. She said, nobody loves me like these two boys. I said, wow, that's really great.
So they're going to make cats live forever. So it'll be a world of cats. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I
Anthony, you have
know.
any questions?
No, so we have our dog that I talked about earlier, but we also have a cat. I got my daughter a cat. It'll be 2 years ago this summer, because she made honor roll at school, and I had promised her that if she made honor roll, I would get her a cat. So I did. I fulfilled the promise. But I also lived up in the Pacific Northwest on my parents' ranch for a year, and I got to tell you, their cats compared to this cat seems like a baby, and it's 2 years old. Seems like a compared to those barn cats and ranch cats and stuff. I mean, this cat is so small. But unfortunately, in Southern Arizona, I'm in Tucson specifically. Um, you've got so many predators and stuff out here. You just can't let a cat outside. A cat has to be an inside cat. I've often said, unfortunately, in Southern Arizona, an outdoor cat's a dead cat, and so you just can't let them outside.
Yeah, and in California right now there is a bird flu going on, and so I have a huge backyard, but we are not letting our cats go out today because of the bird flu, and it can affect on cats, and like a 60-70% of cats can die because of the bird flu. So
Oh
we
yeah,
are very particular, because especially our elder one Kiwi, he loves to go to the backyard, he eats grass and all, he loves. Paper, he just takes a round in the backyard and comes back home. He's that kind of. Yeah, and both of them have totally different personality. Kiwi is very social, so I have my friends come over, guests come over. He will mingle with everyone. And Paper actually, first day he will be hiding under the bed, especially our bed. And if the guests are there on the second day, then second day he will start peeping out and he say, okay, how are they? And third day he takes his time to know people. Kiwi is social. The moment anyone comes, he will start playing with them, and he does everything. They're totally two different personalities.
so I know that this is not on the
So,
topic
so
of pets, but for our listeners, I know that a solopreneur is an entrepreneur that starts a business with only one employee. So that's themselves, basically. So if you want to kind of give a little more definition to that or explain to our users. So, what happens if you're a solopreneur and your business grows to where you have to hire more employees? Then do you have to reclassify as an entrepreneur?
Oh yeah, actually, I started my business because I wanted to help solopreneur, because most of the time I was a solopreneur in my life. But no, I think I cannot call myself as a solopreneur. I'm more like entrepreneur because I have a team, and yeah, means I work with team, and so I have, yeah, various people working for me, and yeah, I think from definition you can say, from solopreneur you go to entrepreneur. But as a solopreneur, yeah, you wear many hats. Even
Mm-hmm.
as a solopreneur, even if you don't hire people on your team, still you can delegate lots of things, because you can just use a strategy and brain into your business. And really, the things which are mechanical, if you can do AI automation, you surely go ahead and do AI automation. But otherwise, you can create a workflow and give access to the person to whom you are delegating, and they can follow the workflow, they can follow the checklist once everything is actually properly set. So the communication is very crystal clear. And also hire means basically, if someone is trained in that area, then it is really good. Otherwise, when I was working with the freelancers, it was really too much of pain, because I had to train them. And then I said, I'm training you and I'm paying you. What is the point? Means it was so much of
Right.
waste of my time, money, energy. So now I hired my team from agency, so they came pre-trained. So I don't have to train them that much. I mean, little bit changes here and there because of platform they are there, but still the learning curve is way better than working with a freelancer from either Fiverr or Upwork and all those places.
So, kind of bringing it back now to pets. We were talking before the show that you and your husband are empty nesters now, and I'm not. So I can talk about having pets and having kids around the house and all that stuff. But how much different is it having pets as an empty nester as compared to having family and kids in the house?
See, means actually we are not empty nesters, because our younger daughter is still with us, but we are
Okay.
soon to be empty nester.
Okay.
So when our younger daughter moves out, she's going to take her both cats with her.
Ah,
Initially, she will go there, she will get settled, and afterwards she'll come back maybe after a week or two or month or whatever, and then she's planning to take them back. And so I don't know. Means so My daughter always tells, more than me, you are going to miss these boys more than me. So she said, you love them so much and all, and yeah, they are really jewel to our life. They are apple to our eye, and they they really changed our life, because both of us were absolutely not ready, and now it like oh, we cannot live without them. It's really amazing. And we, it's a family, we are together now. For example, my elder daughter, she's already moved out, but she comes to our place quite often, and the only thing we talk about is our pets. And then we wonder, what did we talk before? And yeah, means it is like nowadays the topic we have only is about our pets. We don't talk about anything else, and it's really amazing. Means there are two generations sitting under one roof, and we have common
Yeah.
things to talk about. It is so amazing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, means there are two generations, and their interest, our interest might be different, and they will say you don't know anything, and we say you don't know anything, and all then we could have argued, but those things don't happen. We are harmonious, living with fun and laughter, and such a blessing. And my daughter says, the when she becomes a president, she said she is going to make a rule that every family should have at least two pets at their home, because her logic is that she said, majority of the bad things happen in this world because people are not happy, and they want to be happy, and they found happiness in the wrong things. That's why all these things happen. But she said once they have a pet at home, they will be happy, and there will be world peace. That is what she says. She said the life will be different, people will be happy, and majority of these crimes which are happening in the world won't happen. That is what she says.
Well, there you
Well,
go.
tell her to start with city council and work up from there. City,
The
I'll
only
vote.
problem
She'll
with
have
that
my
is,
vote. I'll come
what,
vote
what are
you.
you what are you going to do with people that are allergic to animals? Right now, you're getting into a
Oh, I think
vaccine
we
or
are. We
false
were
vaccine
allergic to
debate
animals.
again.
I think we were allergic to animals.
Yeah.
And I think my daughter, she adopted two, and I think she is allergic to animals.
Oh, okay.
And my other friend, she has like a five cats, one dog. She doesn't have any kids, so her five cats and one dog are her kids. She's allergic, and she takes medicine. And I think in our case, we grew out of our allergy. My daughter still sneezes, and my elder daughter actually rescues lots of cats. So if she comes with her boyfriend, and if our house is not vacuumed that day, then her actually boyfriend keeps on sneezing. So even though my elder one, she rescues lots of cats, and she has the cat and dog at home, but when her boyfriend comes, and if our house is not vacuumed on that particular day, he
Yeah.
sneezes a lot. So maybe he's not allergic to his cats, he is allergic to our cats. I don't know, but means we find solution. There is no problem at all. My friend, she has five cats. She takes medicine. Means we just grew out of it without medicine, so we are fine.
Oh, I think we lost David.
Yeah,
That's okay. Well, the show must go on.
yeah.
Really? Okay. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, but I guess that's a good philosophy as far as like, people are happy, right? They're happier with pets, and there's all kinds of science that backs that up too. As regular listeners of the show know, I'm hoping in about 10 years to have opened a equine assisted therapy ranch, because there's just all kinds of science behind the therapeutic and medical um, effectiveness of pets and of animals, and they do everything from calming to helping you overcome disabilities to giving you a companion for which to heal with, and all kinds of things. So she's on the right track, I guess you could say, with that philosophy.
Yeah.
Plus the
Yes,
radio.
so she has two rules that when she becomes president, she said, yeah, one that her one rule is that everyone should have two pets in their home, and another thing is chocolate will be a fruit, she said. Chocolate will be a
Chocolate
fruit.
fruit.
So
So
these are
we're
her two foods till
just
now.
going to rearrange it on the food pyramid.
So she's setting up her rules, and so she's planning her presidency right now.
Very nice. Very, very nice. So she's got 3 years, to kind of before she can even kick off
I
the
know.
campaign, and then a
Yeah.
whole nother year until she can be inaugurated. So
Yeah.
it's going to be a little while, but
Yeah.
we'll keep our eyes out.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, she'll be the representative running out of California, right? David said he thinks he's having some weather issues, and that might be why he's getting kicked off. Okay, well, if you want to stick around, you're welcome to. If you can't, I can do the rest of this by myself. But we appreciate you being here either way, and so thankful that you got to be a part of what was going on today. So, thank you for being with us.
Sure, no problem at all.
It's funny because I was telling David, I said that one of the topics I thought we could discuss today, and it's kind of along the lines of what you and I have been talking about, Sue Pat, is, hey guys, quiet down a little bit. One of the things I said that we could talk about was animals and how they interact with others, both not just within the home, but like within the community. So, for example, my dog most days gets to go with me to pick up my kids from school. And so now that community of people at their school are getting to know my dog. And the interactions there is not just good for those people. My dog loves the attention. And that kind of interaction, I really think just uplifts an entire community.
Oh yeah.
So, to be able to discuss those kind of things within your community, but just to figure out, like, and some animals need to be trained not to be so aggressive within communities. But I think it's good for both the community, whether it's just your home. Hey guys, quiet down. Hey guys, quiet down. My kids are here in the background. Whether it's within your home or whether it's within your community outside of that. And so, for example, my dog is also well trained. She's trained enough to where I don't have to walk her on a leash. Even her off leash walking, she'll stay right with me. So the people right here in my immediate community get to interact with my dog and pet my dog and scratch all over her. And so they love it and she loves it. And so I think that's a key. It's very important. And I think everybody's better for it. The animal's better for it and the community is better for it.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I can totally agree with that. I mean, it's
take
been...
only animals on the ark because animals are worth it.
Yeah. Here's your family. Take the rest of them.
That's right. Everything else has got to be animals.
Makes sense to me. That's the real logic. I just want to take a quick break, real quick, and go back to the health thing. I'm going to plug Deb again at debspets.com. It's debspets.com. And we found some really good things that help boost your immunity. So if you're having allergies and stuff like that build up and you have allergies, this will help boost your immune system. It's based, they're mushroom based and several other herb based. Coriolus versicolor mushroom, debspets.com. You can find it there. I know that they've helped me when I first started taking them, and with a lot of stuff. I mean, not just your general immune system. So I was blessed that I don't have too many allergies at this point in my life, thank goodness. And so yeah, but going back to how healthy it is to have dogs out in the community. I had three leashes for my three dogs, and I put the oldest one in front, and Daddy and Mom in back, and then Peyton Pooh taking up the rear because he was blind and he had to, he had to do is follow him around. But I'll tell you, you take three dogs out at the same time, everybody wants to stop and pet them.
Oh,
and it's
man.
so good, kids, everybody. So I think it's really healthy. Good point.
Well, what I think is good, especially for kids, and why I've always liked having pets since my kids were young, is it helps them with their interactions. If you start with pets within the home, then as they grow and learn, and as you introduce them more to your community, work, church, things you do outside of work and church, those kind of things there, then they're used to interacting with, they're a little more used to interacting with people because they're already interacting with somebody that, it's a pet at home. They're interacting with it and they're learning how to treat it. And sometimes it needs its space and sometimes it's sleeping and sometimes it does this and and so they're learning that interaction, and it's good for their social development and their social interactions as well. So I just think all around, whatever your community is, having a pet there of some sort, especially one that is interactive like a dog, a cat, a horse, things of that nature, is really good for the community.
Yeah, and I think it's good for kids because if you assign them a duty to it, hey,
Responsibility.
help
Yeah.
us, yeah, responsibility right out the gate. Hey, this needs to be done all the time. The
Mm-hmm.
cat can't go without food or water. The dog can't go without food or water. And if you want to play out in the backyard, we got to clean up first. So,
Mm-hmm.
those kinds of things are very important. I wasn't fortunate enough to have any pets growing up either, except for a lizard that I had to keep in a bucket outside. So,
That's right. We don't do reptiles in this house either, so don't worry about it. That's my one rule: no reptiles of any sort. When my dad was young, when he was a child, his dad was a pastor, and his father was asked to preach out somewhere in a different town. And basically, as his payment, they gave him two animals: a dog that they named Mike, him and his brothers named Mike, and an alligator. That's what they gave to them. So they kept the alligator in their house as long as they could. Eventually, it got too dangerous, and they had to have the thing put down. But they had this alligator when my dad was like a little boy, just kicking around, that lived in the bathtub. And of course, those things grow fast. So I was like,
wow.
hard and fast rule: no reptiles in my house.
That's a new one for me. My daughter had an iguana, and that required special treatment too.
Yeah.
And it didn't like any strangers.
No. Yeah. Yeah. So. Well, we're glad you made it back, David, from the adverse weather up there in Colorado.
Yeah, it's not the first time it'll happen. It ain't the last time it'll happen.
Well, it's funny because we were talking about pets, and now weather with you. It's funny because I was having the discussion today here in Southern Arizona. We don't get a lot of adverse weather. Well, a lot of what most people, I consider anything above 95 degrees to be adverse weather. But anyway, and we get a ton of that. We only have two seasons in Arizona: hot and really hot. But anyway, so when it gets really super hot out here, or any other type of weather that's not like between 65 and 85, my dog won't go out. And so I was talking about how like prissy and stuff she is, and how, all this other stuff. And a lady at the school was talking with me as well. And she's like, oh, my dog's the same way. She's like, one raindrop and my dog won't go out all day. And I'm like, the dog's just going to stay inside and wants to be pampered and not go out. And then that's a problem because then they're in your house all day doing things in your house they shouldn't be doing in your house.
They got to do something.
Yeah. Yep. So,
See, what's the craziest thing that your pets have ever done?
What courageous things my pets have ever done.
The craziest things that
Oh,
surprised you out of nowhere.
they come up everything every day, something new, and we have absolutely no idea what they can come up with. So every day we have different excitement. You can just say that, but they can do anything. Means basically, I have seen a paper actually jumping like how many, like 8 feet high, and that was really like a record. I just couldn't believe it. And once actually we had a Thanksgiving, we had made lots of croissants, and they were on the dining table. Kiwi, once he just opened they were wrapped. He opened the wrap and he ate like 4 or 5. And the moment we realized that he's eating, we just didn't let him allow. But then next day he got diarrhea. Yeah. Yesterday paper was running whole house with a stick of paper. No, sorry, stick of butter. So we have no idea, what thing they are coming up every day. But every day is a different day because of them. We have absolutely no idea, yeah, what they are going to do today. We have a railings, and we put the stuff on the railings so that the cats won't get on the railings because it is a two-storied house, and they get on the railings in spite of that. Means I have no idea how they manage. Means my daughter had even put some spiky things, and still they manage to get there and avoid all the spiky things. I have no idea how they do that, but they can do anything. Really, nothing can stop them.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I'd had a couple cats in the days too, and they always surprised me of who they would like and let in the house because they always knew if they were bringing food.
Oh, yeah, and they like to give gifts. And my daughter says if we had let them go out, they would always bring the dead mouse for me. But we don't let them go out, so then they just actually bring whatever toys we got. But my daughter bought actually really really expensive toys for them, and they don't even look at them. They're just happy with the cardboard, and they are just happy with all these uh, old things. And they I have no idea whether they are really cats, because they behave like a puppy. Means Paper, for example, Paper always fetches a toy. For example, we do our breathing exercises, so he comes and accompanies us, and then we ask Paper, where is your toy? He goes and he fetches a toy for us. They understand everything. So we speak actually three languages at home, and they understand all three languages, no problem at all. So they just fetch the toy, then we throw it far. Again, he goes and he fetches a toy. He just behaves like a puppy. Cats don't do that, but hey, he does it, and we enjoy it.
I think crazy's in a cat's DNA. So, like I
Yep.
said, my daughter has
How
a
about you,
cat here.
Anthony?
Well, yeah, my daughter has a cat here, and I think crazy's definitely in their DNA because this past Christmas, like 2 months ago, Christmas, we had our tree up, of course, and so you got the ornaments all the way up and down the tree, right? So you've got these low hanging ornaments. Well, they didn't necessarily have to be in the very bottom. They could have been, 2 or 3 or 4 branches up, and the cat can get to them and bat at them. So the cat had been doing that like the entire week leading up to Christmas. Like I just find ornaments all over my living room in the morning, right? Because he's just, and then he'd climb up in the tree and he's batting those ones. So I'd put them up every day. I'd rehang them every day. So finally I'd rehung them. And it was literally like either the day of Christmas or the day after or Christmas Eve. It was right around Christmas. And the kids are here and the cat runs and he gets under the tree. And he looks right at me. And I said, "Don't you do it, Toby." That's the cat's name. He literally looks right at me and goes, "Whap," and knocks one of the ornaments right off and then continues to just stare at me. And I'm like, "Oh, no, you
Yeah.
didn't."
How
And then
can
he
you
runs
tell
off.
me don't do it? Okay, see, I can do it.
But as if, like, just like a kid, like he understood, like, I'm going to
Oh
push
yeah.
the envelope as far as I can. Because I was like, "Don't you do it." He just stared right at me. Whap. I was like, no way, not in my house.
No, actually, whenever Kiwi goes on the railing purposely when he wants attention from my daughter. He does all those things which she doesn't want him to do, so he purposely does. So she will give some attention. But so know what she does? She just ignores him on the whenever he goes on the railing, because she doesn't like him going on the railing. So then he tries to get attention from me. I also ignore. So he said, when he realizes that everybody's ignoring, then he gets down on the from the railing. Yeah.
But but the craziest thing I had a dog do was on my parents' ranch up there in Washington. The mailbox is like 2 miles away. So you've got to go down like a mile and a half of this dirt road and then cross over the main road, and then you're at your mailboxes. So the dogs love to go. We had my dog and my mom had 2 dogs. And they'd just love to go. And so I would take the dogs and I'd get in one of the vehicles and we'd go down there. You roll the windows down, and they're all sticking their heads out the window. So right as we were pulling back onto the property, coming back from getting the mail, my mom's little chihuahua, wasn't even a year old at the time, decides he's going to leap out the window. Well, and I mean, I wasn't going very fast because you're on an unpaved road. I might have been going 5-10 miles an hour max, but that's not the point. So the dog's sitting on my lap and the steering wheel's right in front of me, this little chihuahua that's not even a year old, and she literally just leaps right out the window and starts rolling from the momentum of I thought I killed the dog. Then she just gets up, looks at me, shakes it off, and runs up to the house. Like as if nothing ever happened. And I'm like, you crazy dog. I thought I killed you. I was like, holy cow.
Oh man. Yeah, with all my dogs, they're all dachshunds, so they're bred to get like small animals and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I remember having my front door open one summer. We used to have a toy, actually, probably have one similar, but it's a squirrel that used to be stuffed, but of course they pulled the stuffing and the squeakers out. But they'd still play fetch with it and all that stuff. And I just hear this ruckus out back one day, and it lasted about 5, 10 minutes, and then it was quiet, just like that. All three dogs just quiet. I'm like, okay. And then like 2 minutes later, the girl dog, Peyton's mom, comes dooping in and sits down, and I thought it was our squirrel toy that maybe they took outside or something. I went down and I grabbed that, and it was the squirrel. It was soaking wet from all three of them chewing on it. I was like, ew.
Oh man, no way. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Awesome.
Well, Sue, do you want to wrap it up and tell everybody where they can find you, find your blogs, find your websites? What you got for us?
Oh yeah, sure. Actually, yeah, I mean, depending on which stage of business you are, I have offers for everyone. And my main website is New Beginning, as it is displayed over here. New is spelled newbeginning.com. But I help people launch their digital products on fast track and scale their business with my membership, and they can sell their products all over the world using affiliates. But in scaling, selling, also launching, how it works, because I saw many solopreneurs actually they quit their business before they launch their first product.
Mm.
I saw many entrepreneurs don't see second year in their business. Many of those who see second year, they don't see fifth year in the business. And I wanted to reverse that trend. So I created offers in such a way that if you want, you can start making money within a week. And I have many case studies to prove that. I have various levels of offers depending on where you stand. For example, if you already have a subscriber base, then you can have other offer where I can you can get my ready-made products and you can rebrand, and you can start making money within a month. But if you have nothing, you don't have subscribers, you don't have products, nothing, you can start making money within 3 months. And if you I saw people spending like months and months, 6 months creating lead magnet, and I didn't want people to spend that much of time. So I have done for you offer where you can actually just tell me what kind of lead magnet you want, and our team can create within a day, so that you can start making money immediately. Because you can actually make money, but you cannot make time. And if you spend so much of time in creating just lead magnet, you're wasting your really precious time. So we have done for you offers, and even my membership is loaded with thousands of dollars of resources. I just now got it evaluated, and it's like a $50,000 worth of resources already uploaded, and someone can get access for less than yeah, it's around a dollar per day, and they can access those resources. So it's amazing. And of course, means if they want to create, they are passionate about creating, but they are not comfortable about sales and marketing, then yeah, we have a here army of affiliates who are willing to sell their products about a fraction of cost on that commission. And hey, you can just focus on the things which you love to do, and other people will do the heavy lifting for you. I also have AI tools, so that someone shouldn't have any blockage how to what to create AI social media content. I also have weekly challenges, so that you can move the needle in your business. So depending on your needs, where you stand, what you need, I have various offers, and from the various price points, so that you won't be stuck at anywhere in your business journey. Thank
That's
you.
awesome. Yeah,
Thank you.
I'll have Emily put all the links below when she gets this uploaded tomorrow, and I mean, it's live tonight, but I'll have her add it to it later. Anthony, tell us about your nonprofits that you're working with.
I'm in the process of planning going out and doing a visit with Project Die Hard. It's something that Deb actually introduced me to, and it's kind of close to both of us. Myself as a disabled veteran, I have a heart for working with other veterans, disabled or not, but especially disabled veterans. So Project Die Hard is based out of Paducah, Kentucky. We're hoping to go out there in the next couple months and just kind of observe what's going on, and hopefully in the near future, not too distant future at least, hoping to have some kind of joint venture with Project Die Hard here in Tucson. And then just working on my own. I'm in the process, as I was explaining to Sue Pat during the beginning of the show. I would like to, I am going to, within the next 10 years, I have a 5-year plan as far as getting the business on track and meeting with the grant underwriters and whatnot. And then within 10 years, having a accrued property and begin the process of moving onto the property to start an equine assisted therapy called Gilead Ranch. And the theme will be bridging the gap between addiction and sobriety. A lot of disabled veterans have a problem with addiction. Most of the programs available to them, we require them to be sober for a certain amount of time before they ever even get into the program. And while I believe those programs are good, who's bridging the gap between addiction and sobriety? Somebody needs to be there to bridge that gap so that they can get into those effective programs. I'm not here to oust those programs, but I would like to be the one to bridge that gap and cause that place of healing between addiction and sobriety. So that would be the hope moving forward.
Great
That's
work.
awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Give it our closing thoughts again. Emily, our host, our engineer, is at A World of Ability on YouTube. She has multiple channels where we're blessed enough to be able to have a channel here called World of Pets. And Debbie, who's not here tonight, she's hosted many of the shows before. You can find com. In the meantime, Anthony and I are going to be doing some stuff under my name, David Wolfram, on Facebook. And that's going to be the blend of, let's say, faith and politics. So we're looking forward to that in the future, too. So I'm almost to that point. So that'll be a lot of fun. But Sue, thank you so much. Anthony, thank you so
Thanks
much.
for the
Emily,
opportunity. It was really fun. Yeah, I'll tell my daughter that,
good.
hey, I was on the Pet podcast today. She will be really happy. Thank you.
Okay.
That's right. You'll be able to upload it tomorrow. So, guys, have a blessed night. Love you all.
Yeah,
God be
you too.
with
Take
you.
care. Bye-bye.
Love you. We'll talk to you next time.
All right.